Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to change oil to BMW E61. Your model is 08. First thing you need to do is you go under the car. You open this hatch. This is that's with 8mm bolts. So you attach these so you can get access to the oil bolts. There are 3 of these bolts here. Okay, this is the messy part. So before you open that bolt, make sure that you have something ready under here, a pan or a container where you can drain all the old oil. And it's also a good idea to have some sawdust and paper at your hand in case you need it. To open this oil bolt, you'll need a 17mm tool like this. And make sure the container is under. You might want to wear some gloves. And just open it. Let's bring the container closer. This is easily the most messy part of this whole thing. Or it might be. We'll see how it goes. Okay. I will just let it pour. It'll be coming like that for a couple of minutes. So meanwhile the old oil is coming out, you might want to start changing the oil filter, and it can be found here in the engine room. Just take a big, this is 32mm key, and then you just snap it open like this. Okay, now since this is going to be also a messy part, you might want to have some cover here, get some paper ready, and then place where you can get this old filter as soon as you get it out. Quick with this, don't spill any oil. Okay, so to remove the old filter, you just basically pull it out from the frame like this and try to avoid making any mess with the oil. So before putting in the new filter, it's a good idea to replace these seals that are in this frame. So let's just take the old seals off. You can use, if you have a seal hook, you can use that, or then small screwdriver should do the same trick just as well. Bit stiff. This should come off pretty easily. There you go, those were the old ones. And when you put this in, it might be a good idea to get a little bit of oil. Then so we'll go smoother in like that. Just enough to get them replaced. By the way, you should be wearing gloves. I'm not wearing any protective gloves here. You should wear them. I'm gonna go wash my hands after this. Okay. Now we put the filter, the new filter in here. There. Nice and tight. So before installing this, make sure that you wipe a little bit of oil through these seals. It'll make it easier to get them detached next time. Now we'll just put this in its place and tie it there. Use a tool. Tie it properly. Don't put it too tight, just so that it's nice and snappy. So now that the filter has been replaced, it's time to close that oil bolt now. So here's the old one, and If this has never been replaced, you can replace it altogether with a new one. This is not a mandatory, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And at least you should replace the seal here. But I'm gonna replace the whole bolt. Here's the new one, completely new. And this is a good time to check that they are the same. Yeah, same thread. So you might want to wipe it a little bit, like so, and then just put the new one in. There. And tight it. Make sure it's tight, but don't overdo it. So just that it's nice and snappy. Put this in, there's a little clip that you can push there and then just like that. Not too tight, so just enough that they will stay there. These don't require any excessive amount of power. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so last thing to do is to add in the new oil, and this might be a good place to use a funnel to make sure that all the oil goes in the engine and nowhere else. It's also a good idea to reserve some paper ready if there are any spills or anything like that. First of all, you should always make sure what kind of oil you need. But this is something that you can check from your oil seller, like I did. Then just pour the oil in. Now another thing that you might want to check before you do this is that how much oil you need to put in your engine. This particular engine takes 8.5 liters, so make sure that you have enough oil. And another thing that you might want to watch out is that you do not overfill the engine. Okay, so while you're adding the oil, you might want to every once in a while check that you're not overfilling, just to be sure, because if you do overfill it, it's very difficult to get that extra oil out. Here you can see that oil is pretty nicely on the upper limit. At this point you want to check that there is enough oil, but in order to get the oil all over the engine you need to run the engine. So you start the engine and let it run for about 30 or 45 seconds, then turn it off, wait a couple of seconds and then recheck the oil. Before it was on the maximum mark, but now after we ran the engine a little while, the oil level went down. So now we want to add oil one more time and then double check it. So we'll leave it there. And the next we're going to reset the service counter for oil change. Okay, so in order to get oil light reset is that you put the key in, turn on the power. Don't start the car, just turn on the power. Then here's the reset button. Hold it down. Now go to oil menu. Hold it down. Reset up and down, hold it down. And there. Release. And it's reset. Very simple. We can check it from here by going into info, sources, service, and engine oil. Click it, and there. That's when they recommend the next change. Okay.